Well, welcome to this 8-ball pool channel. Why in the world do I have an 8-ball pool channel? Well, I've got a few different gaming channels. I'm just trying to maximize the potential viewership on any particular one. Also, just trying to find things that I'm actually interested in playing. Something I can play regularly and not get burnt out. Also, something right now that's mobile. I have no idea how popular 8-ball pool is. I mean, I kind of looked it up. I played 8-ball pool for a long time. Played it in school years ago. And, just trying to maximize whatever market value I can out of whatever dumb idea this is. That's kind of the point I think that I want to talk about today is how difficult it is to be successful on the market. Whatever your market is, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be when I first started out in my journey, I guess. It's almost like you learn something new a lot, trying to adjust and change things. And some people would say, I'm not saying that there's not more to life than the market, but the market is impossible to escape, so you might as well accept it and try to improve within it. And it's not easy. It's a lot more difficult. It's almost like it gets, I wouldn't say it gets more difficult, but it's almost like you uncover layers of difficulty as you go along. More and more difficulties. And I do believe it is valuable in and of itself to be marketable. I would almost argue it's self-evident why it's valuable to be marketable to somebody else or to other people, because you literally can't escape it. You can't escape it. Any area of life, you got to be marketable to somebody else. You got to be useful to somebody else. I mean, that's life. So, considering that fact that it's inevitable and you have to accept it, I mean, you might as well just roll with it and try different ideas and see what sticks. I mean, am I saying that that's all that life is? I'm saying without that, you're going to be lacking, in my opinion. You really need to have the attitude of marketability. I mean, even if it's just recognizing that your marketable skills are at a fast food line or at the assembly line, you just need to have a recognition that that is where your marketability lies. And if you want to branch out, I mean, more power to you. But the more that I try to branch out, the more I realize it's almost like it's way more difficult than I thought it would be. Not quite to the point of quitting or giving up trying to do just something different, like, YouTube videos or content creation or whatever. I wouldn't say I'm at the point where it's so difficult that I want to just quit or that I'm going to quit. But I would say that it is way more difficult than I imagined when I started. And I think that's true for basically any business. I don't think there's anything wrong with calling it, not necessarily. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with calling it quits and not branching out. But I honestly kind of don't feel like there's really that much of a difference, in the sense that if you want to have a YouTube channel, if you want to make a living at YouTube, it's kind of similar to making a living from whatever your line of work is, Taco Bell or whatever, in the sense that if you don't satisfy the consumer, then you're not going to be there for long. And that's ultimately that's true for even for manufacturing. The end, whatever you're in a process, you're involved in the manufacturing process. Ultimately, if it doesn't make its way to the consumer, then you're expendable. Ultimately, in the long run. And so in that sense, YouTube channels are not really that different. You have to be valuable to the viewer. The viewer is the one who determines the value of the video. Not that I don't value, not that the producer can't value, but ultimately the market value is determined by the consumer. If you want to be technical, okay, yeah, supply and demand, yeah, but the consumer is really the one who determines the value of a YouTube channel. And so if you're going to make a YouTube channel, you kind of just need to do one that people are going to like, or that you think they're going to like. Now, in my opinion, that's not the only criteria for sure. At least I don't recommend it to be. Is there anything wrong with it? No. But I feel like you'll get what's more likely to get you burnt out? Making a YouTube channel solely for other people and taking whatever success you get from that, which you'll probably get more success than not doing that. Or will you get burnt out creating a YouTube channel that is for you and for others? Which one of those scenarios is more likely to produce burnout? On the one hand, you could say the channel specifically for others is more likely to produce burnout, because what value are you getting other than ad revenue or whatever? Which I can see that argument, but I would also see, like, okay, you're making ad revenue, just get over it and do your job. I could see that side. Or is this side more likely to produce burnout? The side where you try to do both. You try to make sure that you enjoy it, and you try to find something that other people enjoy. And maybe you don't get the viewership that you wanted. Which one of those scenarios is more likely to produce burnout? Where you're making content for you and you're not getting viewers. I can honestly see both cases producing burnout. So the question is, do you want to make a YouTube channel? And should you make a YouTube channel? And that's that might be the question I'm trying to ask myself. Because I do enjoy watching YouTube videos. And of course, the desire to make YouTube videos is there. It's almost like it won't go away. So it seems like for me I should. But is there a scenario where I should talk myself out of it? Ultimately, I don't really think so. Because I think there's a reason that people are inclined to do people have inclinations for a reason. Your inclination is just what you're naturally drawn toward, what you do naturally. And for me, content creation seems to be something I'm drawn toward. So I really don't think that I should quit, because I just keep coming back to it over and over and over and over and over. It's something I've done for so long. And even though I haven't got the results that I want, I still feel drawn to do it. So I don't necessarily think I should quit. Should I adjust the way I do things? Sure. Yeah, if you're not getting the results you want, you have to make a change. But as far as outright quitting, I don't think I should do that because I keep getting drawn to make content for a reason. This is an inclination that I have for a reason. It's just a matter of tweaking it to get better results, in my opinion. If I wasn't really inclined to do it, then yeah, it would be a waste of time. If I didn't like it, and I just, if I just treated it as a job and I wasn't, if I treated it as a job that I wasn't making any money at, yeah, that's a waste of time. If you're going to treat it as a job, then you need to make sure that the money's coming in. But if you're just kind of, the question is, should you treat YouTube like a job or should you treat it as a hobby? And my answer is I think you'll be happiest if you do it halfway. Don't do it solely as a hobby that you don't care about what other people think, but I don't think you'll enjoy it as much if you solely try to make it a business. I think you need to do half and half. And, who should make YouTube videos and who shouldn't? That's another good question. That's a good question. Who should you make YouTube videos or shouldn't you make YouTube videos? For me, myself, should I make YouTube videos or should I not make YouTube videos? I don't have a great answer for that right now. But the best I can figure is if you're, like I say, if you want to and you're natural, it keeps pulling you in over time. Like, like for me, I've had, probably, I don't know, I've had years of YouTube experience. And sure, the results weren't what I wanted, but I think there's a reason that I've been making videos for years, if that makes sense. There's a reason that I've been doing, there's a reason for it. So in that sense, it just, if it's been pulling you in for so long, I don't think you need to quit. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you quit or if you want to quit, right? If you want to quit, then yeah, you should quit. If you hate it, if you don't like it, if it's making you miserable, then definitely don't make YouTube videos. But I've never felt that way. I felt that way one time when I first started. When I first started, after about 4 years of making very consistent YouTube videos, I was getting tired of not being where I wanted to be. And so finally I did get burnt out in that scenario. But the problem is that over time that desire came back, right? It didn't go away. 4 years of what I did, that desire that drove me for 4 years just came back. So now it's like, okay, well, what did I learn from that 4 years? And what am I going to do now differently that will maybe put me in a better position than I was back then? Where I did it and I enjoyed it until I didn't. So what did I learn and what can I do this time? Because I still enjoy it, but what can I do differently? Great. What can I do differently that will put me in a better position than I was last time? What did I learn? Obviously, I don't want to quit. I still enjoy it. But what can I do to put myself in a better position this time around than last time around? And last time around, it was all about me, I. This time around, I'm trying to find a balance between what I think viewers want to see and what I actually want to do. What would people? Of course, people would rather see. I don't know, whatever game is out right now, other than 8-ball pool. But I want to play 8-ball pool, so I'm looking for 8-ball pool. I'm looking for 8-ball pool players. So I don't want to quit because I keep getting drawn toward it. But as far as figuring out how to do it, I'm still in the process of figuring out how to do it, and I think that's kind of true for every YouTuber, to be honest with you.